is Nefer worth it? That's a question a lot of people have been asking, because she came out and she is being considered top 2, top 3 DPS in the game. But is she going to be there for you? And is it worth it to get her or wait for somebody else? So I've been playing with Nefer for a few days, and honestly, I love her. I think she's great. I've been waiting for her anyway. She's been one of my top non-crack characters that I wanted, and she has not disappointed me in the least bit. Right now she's C0, but I got a constellation in the tank waiting for her. But everything I tested with C0 Nefer, and well, she's doing great. I'll tell you that. She's doing great. But one thing I will say, when it comes to if she's worth it or not, I said that she might be a top 3 DPS. Now, to kind of get rid of some of the FOMO here, that's something that you don't really got to worry about. We are a not cry, guys. And in not cry, we're going to be getting some heavy hitters. Now, just don't think that Nefer's going to be the only cracked one the game. We have Warka coming. We have Alice coming. We have N coming. We have Kalabina coming. These characters, I don't imagine Hoyle making them weak. You know, maybe one of them might not make the cut, but there's going to be some strong options in the future. So if you feel like you got to wait for the character that you really want, then go ahead and do that. But for those of you who do like Nefer and who are just trying to get like the meta perspective, and if you have the right teammates to go with her, then, well, in the right place. Now, I would like to say the main question that a lot of people might be thinking is, how is she without Llama? Well, let's figure that out. One thing about Llama, I will say about team building with Llama, is you always want to make sure that somebody has, well, Llama has her set on, right? The Night Sky, Night of the Sky Unveiling. You want to make sure somebody has the Dendro set on, Deepwood. You want to make sure somebody has Serenade on, the support Not Cry set, and you want to try and make sure somebody has Instructor on. So that's what you want to do. Typically, I have a Llama on Serenade, but I'd say Serenade is good on either Nahida or Llama. You can pick and choose which one you want. Doesn't matter. But yeah. But I just say I know is the best for Instructor, especially since she's so easy to reapply it. But yeah, so we're going to use that setup right here, but we're going to take Llama off the team. Now keep in mind that my Nahida is C2, and what that means is that my Nahida is going to be giving is going to be giving Nefer 10% crit rate and 20% crit damage to her Lunar Bloom, right? So that's just the difference with that, in case you guys are wondering. So we're going to use my test dummy over here and see what's popping with him and see how it compares to when I'm using Llama, right? And we're just going to look at the damage numbers because playstyle doesn't really change when you're using Llama when you aren't. But let's take a look and see, all right? So if you've seen me show an example of this same exact team, except instead of Kuki, I have Llama in there, you'll see that there's a pretty big difference in damage that's going on, right? But at the same time, Nefer is doing a lot of damage herself. Even though it's considerable amount less, I was still able to, like, that's not even the full rotation that I just did to kill that guy, right? The full rotation is after I do the 3 charge attacks, I put Aino back onto the field, I E with her, and then I bring Nefer back out, and then E with her again, and then do my next 3 charge attacks. And the reason I do that is to refresh the instructor set, meaning that a full rotation with Nefer is strong and more than what you need to take down the Abyss. So to answer the question right off the bat, is she worth it if you don't have a Llama? Yes. Is she worth it if you don't have Nahida? I mean, if you really like her, then go ahead. You can still make it work with like Dendro MC or Cole, but I'll no longer really recommend her if you don't have either of them, because they help out a lot. They do help out, because Nahida just gives a whole bunch of EM. I don't know, but you can still make it work. You can still make it work maybe with Sucrose and give somebody else Deepwood. It's going to take some creativity, but if you don't have Nahida, you don't have Lauma, you're going to see a considerable drop off when it comes to damage. But she can still work, she can still function, but she's probably going to be on the level of, like, I don't know, the Fontaine characters or something. Just to give you an idea with that. So if that's okay with you, then that's fine. Llama is where it's at. Llama is where it's at, and you want her on the team. My Llama C1, so she heals, so I don't have to really worry about a sustain. For a lot of you guys, the team that you'll be using with her is probably going to look a lot more like this, so you can have a sustain if you don't have C1 Llama. Or if you just think you're the best at dodging, you can do that too. But yeah, so I think that's really the direction a lot of you guys are gonna go. And if you guys can build this team or the Nahida team, then you're gonna see some real nice damage, and you're gonna get that top 3 DPS type of performance, which is fantastic, wonderful. Now, outside of that, she does have a lot of alternatives. And with these different alternatives, if you have them, I do think that she still is much worth it to have, because she's still going to be one of the strongest DPS that you can get. But no matter what, you really do want to keep these two together, right? So I'm going to keep Llama on all these different teams, but as I showed you, Nahida can also be there, but there is a considerable drop off in damage, a pretty big one, right? But she's so strong that she's still strong with that big drop off in damage. That leaves these two right here. Everybody should have Ino. Everybody might not have constellations for Ino, in case you didn't pull on Flint's banner, but everybody should have Ino. And Ino is who you want on the team for the Hydro slot. You really do. I've tried different Hydro characters to put on there, and they can work, but it doesn't make sense to use other people when the free character gives you the most damage, right? Because if you use someone like Farina, her damage bonus isn't really doing anything. Her Hydro application is better than Ino's, because Ino does have a circle that you have to stay in. And depending on who you're fighting, they can get out that circle. It's happened to me already. It's happened to me in Abyss with the Vishap, things like that. Enemies can't get out of that circle, so that can get frustrating. Farina, you don't have to worry about that, but you're accepting a drop in damage, but Farina does a lot more damage herself. So it's definitely a direction you can go, but I don't advise her over Ino if you have constellations on Ino. If you have Ino C1 or C6, then I would use her over Farina regardless, because the Nefer team is a hyper carry damage team, where the hyper carry's damage is everything. So there's not a lot that is going to be amplifying Farina's damage, so she's not going to be doing that much damage compared to what she can normally do. So that's why I choose Ino over her. But you know, she can work. Then you can have Kokomi if you really need a sustain on the team and you don't have Cookie. I'd say Cookie is the better option in this situation, but if you don't have that, you could put in Kokomi. Kokomi isn't really doing much when it comes to helping out Nefer deal more damage, but you can give her instructors, and she'll give at least some EM there, but also her jellyfish is stationary, and that can be an issue. But if you give her sacrificial fragments, you can kind of rectify that a bit. So you can get creative with that. Another option is Nilu, right? Nilu can do a good job, especially if you have her signature weapon. Unless you have her C2, she's not going to be better than Ino, but at C2, she is now better than Ino. So if you guys, for those of you guys who in Sumeru went sick and decided to wail on Nilu, then rejoice. you have a better option than Ino here. And in terms of other Hydro options, I would say that's about it, honestly. Because when, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Xing Shou, where is he at? So yeah, you can use him mainly because his swords, even when you aren't normal attacking, his swords can apply Hydro. And you, with Nefer, you are hugging the enemy quite a bit. So that is enough Hydro to get Nefer going. So that's good right there. And Barbara too. Barbara can be something if you really don't have anything. Barbara's free. I mean, even though Ino's free, but you know, for some reason, if you can't use Ino, maybe Ino's on another team, then yeah, you can use Barbara as long as you hug the enemy. But it is wonky. I would say that's my last place option when it comes to that. I hear Shi Juin is okay, but I don't have Shi Juin, so I can't test that for you guys. But I heard Shi Juin is okay, an okay option to use. But yeah, that's about that, right? So that's for the Hydra option, right? Now, if you have those for an Hydra option, then you can make her work. Now for the next option, right? So you saw me already using the Hida for this option here, but and she's going to be the best C0 or C2. Either way, she is the best because she gives a lot of EM. She gives, like, if you build her correctly, she's giving you like 290 EM or something like that, 250 EM, and if you have a finisher, 290. But yeah, she's doing a lot, right? And Nefer loves that EM. Now, Kuki, I'm calling the best option, but she's not the highest damage option. I'd say someone like Yai, Miko, right, who can take advantage of Aggravate, or same with Fischl, who can take advantage of Aggravate, can do a lot of damage, and they're the higher damaging ones, but you don't have a sustain. So sometimes it's better to forego because again, Nefer is doing majority of the damage on the team. So sometimes it's better to just forego the extra damage from a sub DPS and make sure that your Nefer can do what she needs to do. And she can use Ki. You can give her Ki. You can give her the Serenade set, the Serenade support set, and then you're good to go there, right? Or the Deepwood set, whichever one. And then she's adding to the damage in that way, right? So she'll be giving a good amount of EM, and either more EM or Dendro resistance shred. So yeah, so there's that, right? But yeah, but as I said, there's other electro characters like Fischl or Yai, could be other good options. If you're using Farina, then Baiju can be a good option right there. Give him some deep water or whatever, and he can be fine. But this is where you're gonna start dropping off in damage considerably. He's a lesser option than Cookie. Oh yeah, and people talking about Nefer. That's another option right there that you can do instead, because Nefer is a sustain. She does have, supply a shield, and she will do a good job. It's just that she's not going to get that much lunar charges off because Dendro should be taking over most of the time, and she's not somebody who wants to aggravate. But if you don't have Lauma and you put another Hydra on there instead, then that can kind of split the damage between Nefer and Nefer. So it's like, so even though you lost damage by not having Lauma on the team, Nefer can kind of make up for that. So yeah, so there's that right there, right? Zhongli or Albedo can be options right there, because Albedo does give 125 EM, so that's something that he can do. Zhongli does shred resistances, so that's something he can do. And then you can put a supportive set on either of them. So yeah, those are a lot of options that you have right there in terms of teammates for Nefer. So you don't need to have the premium team in order to make her worthwhile. So if that's something that you were wondering, then worry not, because she can do a damn good job. She is kicking ass herself, right? And in terms of play style, if you like her play style, if you liked Hu Tao's play style with the charge attack dash, then that's good right there. It's definitely much more AoE when it comes to that than Hu Tao's charge attacks, but and it feels a lot faster, a little bit cleaner than Hu Tao's play style a little bit. But the dash canceling is something that you want to take advantage of. If you don't do that, you can still play her fine. So I do think if you don't like Hu Tao's play style, You still have some wiggle room where you can. It's not going to feel as bad to you. But for me, I love Hu Tao's playstyle, so this is perfectly fine for me. So yeah, so is Nefer worth it? I hope that I answered that question for you in terms of if you have the units to be able to support her necessarily. In terms of power, and she's definitely worthwhile, as I said earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys at this point. The ball's in your court. But let me know what you guys want to do. Are you guys saving for other future units? Are you on the fence, and did this help you at all if you're on the fence? Or do you already have her and you guys are already kicking ass with her? You know, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. I hope I did help out. Like the video if you like the content I'm giving. Of course, subscribe to the channel so you get more content like this. With out of here, let you know.